Surprise, surprise! We are live, and I have such a special guest that I just finished interviewing for my podcast, Tuned In. His name is ISMAEL Perez, and he is such an amazing individual. We talk about a lot of beautiful things, and actually we decided to go live and talk a little bit with you guys and see if you have any questions, any things that would probably provoke a thought that you want to explore. So we're going to wait for him to come here live, and we can have him be part of this. And before we do, I just want to tell you quickly that I'm going to have a very special announcement on Tuesday. So definitely follow for the special announcement, because this will change the game for you. If you're a speaker, if you're a teacher, if you're a coach, if you are somebody who uses their voice, somebody who feels like they lose their voice frequently, their voice is weak, you don't know what to do, all these things. Trust me, you don't want to miss this special announcement. It's Yukti Uni. Hi, dear. Hi, from India. That is so exciting. Thank you so much. You're amazing, too. I feel your energy all the way from here. So, our beautiful ISMAEL is right here. So, I'm going to have him join us. Okay, hopefully it's gonna work. Yay! It's working! Long time no see.
I know, in a minute. No, I'm kidding.
It feels too long, right?
Yeah.
For everybody that know who is this beautiful individual is, it's ISMAEL Perez, who is #1 author on Amazon right now. And I want you to introduce yourself, because I think it's the best way.
So my name is ISMAEL Perez. I consider myself an awakened starseed. I'm also a cosmic and interdimensional ambassador for an alliance known as the Guardian Alliance. And I believe that many of the starseeds out there are members of the Guardian Alliance without even knowing it. So part and primary to my purpose here is to remind you guys all that we are here as the new guardians, not only of the earth, but of the entire multiverse. And that once we remember that, we come into our power, and that it's also going to act as a catalyst to the activation of our dormant DNA through the solar flash.
I told you guys I couldn't introduce him better than he would, right? But for those that kind of, by the way, if you guys are interested in what we're going to talk about, we're going to have a beautiful podcast where we're going to talk about in depth about what does it mean to become in the 5th dimension? What does that mean to create your reality? What does that mean to be a musician or artist or a singer or somebody who uses their voice or uses their arts in that 5th dimension, and so much more. So stay tuned. It's going to come up probably not the next week, but the following. So stay tuned for all that information. But I wanted to ask you, dear ISMAEL, for those who have no idea what is going to the 5th dimension, how we can right now, knowing there's more to life, knowing there's more to what we see, hear, touch, and smell, how we can go to the next level.
Very
while
simple.
we connecting.
Yes. So yeah, I'm trying to put these on so that you could hear me better. Thank you.
Yes.
So the best way to move on to the next level is by doing the inner work, by working on yourself. Everyone on this planet has light and dark. It is just a matter of working through those shadow aspects of ourselves, keeping the ego tamed so that you could reach higher levels of consciousness. And most importantly, learning how to transmute all negative emotion, because the more we transmute negative emotion, the higher we raise our frequency. And that's how we begin to ascend into higher dimensions, through the transmutation and alchemization of lower densities and negative frequencies or emotions.
Definitely. Now, for those who are thinking, okay, how can I start working on myself? Because there's so much conditioning that we've been through as humanity. There's so much within us that we are our worst critics. We are the ones who are actually not letting the light come through us and be that clean vessel to whatever we meant to do and pursuing this life. What would you say to them? How they can actually, what would be the practical first step to do?
Well, the first step is realizing that we are all under a program. Since childbirth, we were all programmed. And so once you begin to realize that we are living in a literal matrix where it's not just an imprisonment of our, society, but it is a mental imprisonment, then you begin to undo the program by going within yourself and really asking yourself what you really want for yourself, what really matters in life, what you value. And one of the things that I talked about in our podcast is that you have to awaken and interact with your inner being, which is your inner child. It's your inner child is, in a way, your higher self. It is that playful, innocent aspect of yourself that is still there, lurking at the core of all your conditioning, of all your subconscious programming. So learning how to unleash that child, that inner being, is connecting to your higher self. And when you do so, your talents, whether it is through music, whether it is through art, painting, singing, whatever it is it might be, it'll just enhance it. And then at that point, you will be an instrument of the divine. Your voice will touch people, will make people cry. If you're a musician, your piano playing, your instrument, whatever instrument you play, it will literally, people will sense God being expressed through you when you connect with your inner being.
I think there's no better way what you said just now, because I think people don't understand it's not about sounding perfect, and that's how we were conditioned. And I know, coming from a professional, being an opera singer and going to America's Got Talent, it's all about how it looks, if it sells, if it's profitable, if it's perfect. And now moving to the fifth dimension, moving to the true authenticity of what we're actually here to do, and knowing that your voice is valid. And if you have a passion and you have something in you that calls to be expressed, if it's through voice, if it's through music, if it's through speaking, it's valid. It's more than valid. It's actually needed, because the way you would express it in your energy, in your way, nobody else can do that.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I really want people to listen to this and understand this, that it's not just a hobby. It's not just like, oh, let me just sing and who cares? Nobody will care. It's not about that. It's about tuning into something bigger than you and letting that to be move through you. Now,
Exactly.
since we're doing a live, if you guys have any questions, we would love to answer them. CSWD Kraus is asking, how do we know if we are starseed?
Very simple. If you ever felt different, since you were a kid, if it was hard for you to fit in, if you felt like you missed home, like you didn't belong here, chances are that you are a starseed, that you come from a higher dimension, and that you chose to volunteer at this time. Some of the qualities, or I guess characteristics, that defines a starseed is if you're drawn to the stars, if you're drawn to ancient mysticism, anything that has to do with the supernatural, aliens, ufology, anything beyond the realm of this world or the things that conventional science teaches us, then you are a starseed. If you have an inner understanding of things, if you are an intuitive empath, if you could sense the thoughts of animals, the feelings of animals and people, then you are a starseed. And so those are just, generalities describing, I guess, characteristics of a starseed.
I have literally chills as you speak, because that's how I feel. I feel
Well,
I can feel people's pain in a completely different level. I feel when I went to Sedona and I looked in the stars, I feel at home. I feel all these things you just said. It just truly resonates, and also all the people saying, yep, that's me. So we're definitely not alone, guys. So
exactly.
Carola says, I want to do this. I am an artist. My dearest loved ones took the job despite my begging them not to, due to a job demands and brainwashing. Hard to let that go. I fear for them and want them to be, she didn't finish, but I assume she wants them to be artists and then do what they want. So this is the question. How do we do what we want to do truly and be rewarded for it abundantly, right? Because we still live in a physical world. We still need to pay for our food, or we need to pay for our living, to pay for electricity, to pay for water, to pay for shelter. How do we still escape the matrix and but still pursue what we love, if it's being a singer, artist, etc.?
You have to, no matter what, you have to follow your bliss and your heart's desire despite of what the circumstances are. Because overall, and one of the things that we talked about is that the universe has your back, because in a way you are the universe. So more than anything, the universe wants you to be happy and abundant and free and full of, happy relationships with, whether it is, with your partner or just friends. More than anything, the universe wants you to live in harmony. And so if you follow your bliss, if you trust in yourself, you have to begin to believe in yourself, first of all, because no one's going to believe in you but yourself. And then once you begin to do that, I guarantee you that things are going to change for you, where all of a sudden doors are going to be opening up that might allow you to do something, make a living out of your talents. And, that's what I did. I used to work a 9-to-5 job, and just like most people, I was, I didn't want to get up in the morning. I didn't want to go do my 9-to-5, but I had to do it. But I trusted in myself. I went within myself and I just surrendered. And the moment I did that, like, things just began to open for me, it was just beautiful. Like, you will begin to work miracles, but most importantly, you have to believe in yourself.
This is so true. I feel the moment you truly 100% believe in yourself, and it sounds very cliche and sounds very like believe in yourself, but it's that deeper trust that you are meant to do what you're meant to do, leaning into whatever you want to call it, God, universe, higher power, knowing that you're not crazy for actually wanting to be happy and following your bliss and whatever that looks like in that specific moment. And you're allowed, and more than actually it should change, because we are evolving and changing. But our job is to listen to that inner voice, that inner child, whatever it calls us to do, trust it and go for it, and know that you'll be rewarded and supported. That's what we're all being tested right now, guys. Wake up. This is the test. This is the ultimate test for all of us. Are you truly trusting God, or are you trusting the narrative? Are you trusting God, or are you trusting the matrix? Are you trusting God, or are you trusting something else that has data and back up all the things that tell us that is the truth? But deep down what is the truth. This is what it's all about, for me at least. So let's see
very
what
well
other...
said.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I just said very well said. I couldn't say it better myself.
Oh, thank you. I'm just looking for any questions, guys. If you have any questions, this is your chance. You have the one and only ISMAEL here, so there you go. I see the energies around everything. It seems starseed and never fit in anywhere. Again, not fitting in. It's actually fitting in, but something bigger than what you see. And I think it's the biggest blessing. I'm a lifetime artist, musician, singer, songwriter, live in the mountains made of crystal. I speak to all nature. It speaks to me. I've been saved by angels. I've been dead. I met the being beyond life. Okay.
We talked about that, dying and coming back.
Do you want to share your coming back to life experience?
Sure, very brief. I died 3 times in my life, and I kept coming back because it wasn't my time. My purpose was bigger than just me. My purpose was bigger than just being a regular human. And that's why I believe that even death isn't an issue. Nothing can stop you when you are fully aligned with your divine purpose. You could, there's going to be nothing that's going to be able to stand in your way. you're going to be unstoppable.
It's so true. And I think that's where this is the thing. We're so used to be approved by the external. Like, is my thought and what I'm doing is valid? And how we always look externally and looking for validations versus just
Exactly.
going inward and not needing you. That's not even a thought for you. That's where you set yourself free, and that's where you actually going to start singing, performing, and doing whatever you're meant to do in this world from a place of detachment
Absolutely.
and a place of serving, because it's not about you. It's not about how great you are, how perfect you are, how beautiful you are, how whatever. It's about, what can I serve? How can I help the people around me? And one thing you said so beautifully in the podcast, and I kind of want to touch based on it so more people can listen to this. What is that thing you said about music that is so valid, so people understand how important their role as an artist in that creation of the new world?
So at a higher level of reality, music is used to create worlds, galaxies. It allows for, the precipitation of energy into matter. So it is involved. It's part of the mechanism of the unmanifest becoming manifest. It is through sound, frequency, vibration that precipitates the different realms of reality in order for us to have an experience. So it is the language, just like mathematics. It is a language that is, it is something that is being used across the multiverse, to create new worlds. So it is very powerful. Very powerful.
So, my dear, when you think to yourself, who cares about my voice? Who cares about what I do or not do? I want you to remember this. You're creating worlds. You can heal people. You can transcend people.
Exactly.
And one thing I remember, I don't remember when I saw this, but I remember somebody that was singing in Sedona to create some kind of connection with ETs, right? And they would come back and do something, moving, in a certain way, knowing that they heard her and they respond to her singing. And it was very, very powerful. And I remember to myself, wow, this is something more than I could ever imagine. Like, my voice is not just right now, it's moving into this galaxy, into this world, and connecting with some being that I don't even know what it is, and coming back to me. And there's this whole connection of unity that we speak about. That's what it's all about. It's about unity, and music is one of those international, intergalactical languages that allow us to connect in such a deeper way.
Yes, exactly. And
Isn't
again,
it
your voice, your voice does wonders across the different dimensions. We have to stop seeing it as just one dimensional. When you are singing, when you are playing a musical instrument, it's the sound, the frequency is reverberating across the different realities and dimensions. And it is being used to create new worlds. So,
Amazing. Ishmael, there's anything you see here you want to answer? Oh, I see questions. So, by the
we are
way, people,
connecting.
I have a question about
Sure.
Kanye West, and I hope this is not going to be too controversial. But I think we can respect that somebody that is, either you agree with him or not, but agree that he's one of those people that actually inspires you to not be so validated by the external world, making his own way. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that's very important. I think that's the reason why most people are still having difficulty aligning with their purpose, is because they're constantly seeking external validation. And I think that the moment they stop doing that, their manifestation abilities are going to increase instantaneously. Things are going to be happening for them.
There's some question here. Will the eclipse of 11/11 portal bring in any new energies?
Yes, it is. It's a interdimensional portal. So, on the physical level, we're not going to see things. It's going to be more of an internal change. So the opportunity comes, once every 26,000 years. So It's very important to, be aligned, be grounded, and know thyself. Know who, get in touch with who you really are on the 11th. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful souls. If you're listening, this is your sign that go ahead, pursue what you meant to pursue. Listen to your inner child. Listen to that, just wanting to follow your joy, and understand that you are fulfilling your purpose and your mission by doing that. And it's not childish. It's not practical. It's not that, it's none of that BS that we were conditioned all this life. Knowing that it's needed, and you're touching more than you think, and you don't even know how it's impactful through humanity and throughout the whole galaxy. So, Ishmael,
Absolutely.
there's anything else you would like to share with us before we end this?
Yes, stop seeking things outside of yourself. Everything is within yourself. You have your answers. Everything, the truth is all within yourself. You just have to trust in that process. Trust yourself.
Yes, yes. So, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to hear more in-depth conversation, which you definitely want, tune in to our podcast, Tune In, which the episode's going to be live in about a week or so. So stay tuned for the announcement. Ishmael, thank you so much for
You're welcome,
everything
Natalia.
that you are and everything you do. Sending you my love, and for everybody's there listening.
Thank you, Natalia. Appreciate your time as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.